Hey, I'm Elias. For the next few episodes, I'm going to walk you through the entire epic of Greek mythology, starting from the void of chaos all the way up to the rise of the gods. So, let's rewind to the dawn of time, before anything existed, and listen to Chapter 1 of the universe, Creation and the Primordial Gods. In the very beginning, before the forging of time and space, all things lay suspended in a perfect, undisturbed nothingness. It remained so until, deep within this dead silence, a subtle tremor arose. At first it was faint, like a silken thread spun by a spider in the dark of night, slowly weaving and gathering within the boundless void. Eventually, it coalesced into a primordial essence, ephemeral, existing yet non-existent. No god nor mortal could ever prove its shape, and so the ancient sages named this paradoxical state chaos. As eons bled into one another, chaos grew in power, giving birth to the first ancient deity, Chaos, the god of the void. Chaos possessed no face, no form. None could even say with certainty whether he possessed a consciousness. Yet, upon his emergence, the realm of nothingness was forever altered. Vast, untamed forces began to violently churn and evolve within the void, while scattered energies struggled desperately to merge back into his being. After an unfathomable span of time, or perhaps in the blink of an eye, 5 primordial deities were conceived within his body. The first to emerge was the great Earth Mother, Gaia. She was the only one among the 5 primordial gods to possess an absolute physical form. She was profoundly steady, grounded, and unique. Gaia alone stripped away the attribute of nothingness. She was the goddess of the earth, and her manifestation became the boundless, solid ground, granting the drifting universe its first anchor. Deep beneath her soil, a wild and vigorous potential for life began to brew. At the very bottom of Gaia's solid expanse, in the unfathomable depths where the physical realm met the void, the second deity was born. Tartarus, the god of the bottomless abyss. He was the incarnation of ultimate darkness and descending gravity, a cosmic dungeon far older and more obsidian than the underworld of later ages, radiating an icy aura that would make all creation tremble. As the great Mother Gaia settled into an infinite physical reality, the unfathomable Tartarus clung tightly to her foundations like a terrifying chasm at the root of the world. He forcefully dragged the despairing essence of the void down to the earth's lowest reaches. At this volatile boundary, where the solid earth and the abyssal void ground against each other, the universe was incubating a new rhythm. Within the bottomless maw of Tartarus, the remnants of chaos violently intertwined with abyssal shadows. Finally, within this suffocating pitch-black origin, darkness itself underwent a miraculous fracturing, splitting into 2 symbiotic deities. The rigid, disorienting, and absolutely impenetrable depths of darkness manifested as Erebus, the god of shadow and gloom. Conversely, the soft, veil-like darkness, bearing the breath of tranquility and solace, became Nyx, the goddess of the silent night. Born from the same source, they were 2 sides of a singular dark coin. They were bound by blood as brother and sister, yet destined as eternal lovers. When they opened their eyes and felt the thrilling, familiar essence of their shared origin, a primal instinct drove them into a fierce embrace. Like 2 pools of dense ink, they desperately sought to merge, yearning to return to their original undivided state. Yet, they now possessed distinct souls and godhoods. No matter how fervently the dark god and goddess embraced, No matter how they strained to interlock, their fully formed separate bodies prevented a seamless fusion. This frustration, friction, and throbbing ache of longing to unite but failing to return to the source struck the first wondrous spark in the silent universe, the primordial dawn of what we now call emotion. Right between the entwined, desperate embrace of Erebus and Nyx, within the microscopic, searing gaps between their dark bodies, the chaotic energy miraculously collapsed. From this very fissure, the fifth primordial god, the great and ineffable Eros, the god of procreation and primal desire, was quietly born. Among all the ancient gods, Eros appeared the most fragile. He lacked Gaia's colossal physical presence and Tartarus's terrifying dread. Like the other gods of the void, he possessed no tangible form. Yet, he was the most invincible force in the cosmos. Do not mistake this ancient Eros for the winged, bow-wielding cherub of later myths. This Eros was a cosmic law. He was an irresistible primal gravity, the fundamental drive that compelled all things to attract, unite, and multiply. Without him, the Earth Mother would have remained a lonely expanse of clay, and the universe a stagnant pool. He was the first spark to ignite the engine of cosmic life. With his arrival, the pantheon of the 5 primordial deities was complete. Upon his birth, Eros transformed into an invisible rhythm, silently slipping into the deep minds of Gaia, Tartarus, and the embracing Erebus and Nyx. With unseen tendrils, he began to stir the once still, well-like depths of their hearts. In an instant, the cold, mechanical universe boiled over. From within these ancient deities erupted an unprecedented, blazing desire. Catalyzed by Eros's inescapable lust, the embrace between Erebus and Nyx was no longer a mere instinct to return to their roots. It morphed into the universe's first act of passionate ecstasy. And within this ultimate union of shadow, an ultimate reversal was conceived. Amidst the feverish union and trembling of the dark god and goddess, the absolute pinnacle of darkness burst forth with radiant, divine power. From the consummation of gloom and night, 2 deities, symbolizing purity and luminescence, were born. Ether, the god of the upper air, and Hemera, the goddess of day. The moment Ether was born, he ascended on currents of pure, crystalline air. He became the uppermost atmosphere wrapping the earth, forging a sacred barrier. With this untainted celestial ether, he firmly repelled the violent surges of Tartarus from below, who sought to erode and swallow Mother Gaia. At that moment, the vertical order of the cosmos achieved a steadfast equilibrium. Simultaneously, Hemera broke free from the dark skirts of her mother, Nyx. Bearing the very first rays of light in the universe, she cast a gentle yet unstoppable radiance across the newly awakened world. This light did not merely scatter the darkness upon the Earth's surface. It struck like a silent thunderbolt, shattering the ignorant stupor of the primordial gods' minds. Bathed in this boundless brilliance, the ancient deities clearly saw one another for the first time. They truly realized the existence of the Self and gazed upon the vast cosmos they were destined to rule. With this, the mists of nothingness were completely blown away. The grand stage, interwoven with desire and light, was fully set. As the primordial gods awakened in the dawn's glow, and before the blood of the sky god Uranus had even dried, the great epic of Greek mythology, a saga of power, betrayal, glory, and ruin, began to turn its heavy, roaring gears within that very first ray of morning light.